Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic day. With Bo Nix being injured after breaking his ankle for the rest of the season.
Ankles are broken! Ah! My ankles are broken for sure!
His ankles are broken!
He has broken his ankles!
Ah, they're surely broken!
Everyone seems to think the Broncos are going to lose. They're going to get absolutely smashed by the Patriots, and the Patriots have a free ride straight to the Super Bowl. But not so fast, my friend.
Go Bulldogs!
Yale Bulldogs.
Oh,
wow.
Not so fast, midget! Not so fast!
Midget.
There are two things that could end up happening in this game. The first thing is everyone's right. The Broncos get absolutely annihilated by the Patriots. That defense completely swarms Stidham, and the Broncos don't stand a flying chance and they lose 6-30 or something like that. But there's also a second option that can happen here, and I just want to bring a second option to the table because no one seems to be talking about this. What if Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos end up winning this game?
That I will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win.
And I'm going to argue, while wearing a Broncos beanie, that it's not that far-fetched. I think there's a reason why the Broncos players, the Broncos head coach, and the entire franchise is so behind this quarterback, and why they truly think that they can beat the Patriots on Sunday with him. Now, Bo Nix under this Broncos offense has looked pretty good in certain games, but in other games has looked bad to average. But they've managed to get by on the strength of their defense, and by doing just enough to get by offensively. Nothing is going to change about the game plan in this game versus a game that Bo Nix would be starting. Both quarterbacks are practically the same weight, practically the exact same height. They can be plugged straight into this offensive scheme and work almost the exact same. The only difference is Stidham has always worked with the twos, Bo Nix was working with the ones. Luckily, Jarrett Stidham does have a full week of practice to work with the ones this week to get ready for that Patriots defense that just annihilated CJ Stroud and the Texans.
You come with whatever you got. Full contact. No holds barred, okay? I'm going to warn you. I don't think you're going to like how this ends, hotshot.
CJ!
We have hardly any tape on Stidham to know if he's a good enough quarterback to win this game or not. We basically are going off of the word of the Broncos organization and some great plays we've seen him make in the preseason this year. The only other stats we have for him are from the 3 games he played in the year of 2023, namely the final 2 games of the season when he took over for Russell Wilson as the Broncos starter for the final 2 games of the year.
You ever done anything dangerous? Oh, jeez. That is dangerous. One time? Never mind. That's too dangerous.
And then they beat the Chargers 16-9 and then lost to the Raiders 27-14. His stats in that Chargers game weren't that bad. 20 of 23 for 224 yards and a touchdown. No turnovers. And in the game against the Raiders that they lost 27-14, I'll remind you that the Raiders were 8-9 that year just like the Broncos finished. Stidham went 20 of 34 for 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and he was sacked 5 times. Even being sacked 5 times, he was still able to throw for 272 passing yards and maintain a quarterback rating of 82. This guy also has similar speed of Bo Nix, so he can get out there and he can run a little bit if he needs to. I think Bo Nix is a little faster, but he has the ability to run with his feet if he needs to make a play. Do the Broncos need him to pass for more than 272 yards in this game? My argument to why I think the Broncos and Jarrett Stidham could win the AFC Championship this week on Sunday is that they don't need Stidham to be amazing. They don't need him to be the second coming of Peyton Manning.
Open, get open. Get your head out of your ass. Suck.
They just need him to play average and manage the offense in the same way that Bo Nix would. Bo Nix doesn't look that impressive half the time. He is getting better year over year, but there's some games I just want to rip my hair out watching Bo Nix play. He absolutely balled out in the Bills game, and it's a bummer that he got hurt for the last 2 games of the season, but I don't see why Jarrett Stidham can't plug into this offense and almost look like a clone of Bo Nix. While the Patriots defense is going to be a massive hurdle for this Broncos offense, given the fact they just destroyed the Texans and destroyed the Chargers in back-to-back weeks, and were one of the best defenses in the NFL this season, I'm going to argue that the Patriots offense has not looked very good at all in the first 2 games of the playoffs. The Patriots won 28-16 against the Texans in the last game. Though weather was involved, Drake May only went 16 of 27 for 179 yards. He did throw for 3 touchdowns and he threw 1 interception. But with that pass rush, Drake also fumbled the football 4 times. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and 2 of them were lost to the defense. The Patriots also had a pick 6 picks in that game, so the 28-16 victory would have only been a 21-16 victory because the offense only scored 21 of those 28 points for the Patriots. Now, if you want to take a look at the game before that, wild card round versus the Chargers. This game was not affected by weather nearly as badly. Drake May went 17 of 29 for 268 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Not that bad, but similar to the stats that I was pointing out for Jarrett Stidham in his regular season appearances a couple years ago. My question is not if the Patriots defense is going to be difficult for the Broncos to deal with, because the answer is yes. The Patriots defense will be very tough. My question is, will the Patriots offense be able to score enough points against the Broncos defense that is equally as tough, or whether Jarrett Stidham in a managed role can manage to score more than 21 points and somehow beat this Patriots team? I think it's very possible. I think this is going to be a defensive battle. I think if the Broncos defense can get to Drake May on the pass rush, maybe cause some havoc there. He's not Josh Allen yet, and Josh Allen really carved up the Broncos defense in the last game and made them look not that great. I think Drake May gives them a potential to look a little bit better, and if they can do that and make that happen, we saw how that affected him last week. The weather's going to be good, a nice 50 degrees and sunny on Sunday in Denver, so we're going to see if the Patriots look way better when it's a sunny, relatively comfortable day. But if the Broncos pass rush can get to May, and if they can do what they were doing all season and stop the running game, they could hold the Patriots to very little points, just like that Chargers defense did. And if that happens and the Patriots score like 16 points like they did against the Chargers, you tell me right now that you don't see the Broncos scoring more than 16 points. This may end up being a 17-16 win for the Broncos, or a 20-16 or a 21-16 win. It'll be a defensive slobber knocker once again, and yes, it does rely heavily on that defense while Jarrett tries to get into the game and get into the flow of it and break off any sort of rust he's had from not playing any sort of starting reps all season. But I think this guy personally is a much better quarterback than people give him credit for. I just think he hasn't had the chance to showcase that talent in as many opportunities as he's been able to have. He's been in the NFL since 2019, and he's had barely any opportunities to show himself. Granted, he's going to have a ton of pressure on himself because these are the two most pressure-based games that any pro quarterback could ever find themselves in. The championship game for your conference and then the Super Bowl. But I don't see why Jarrett Stidham can't go in there and win this game for the Broncos and take them to the Super Bowl. It's not like you're losing Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady and putting in the backup. I think if the Pats put up points early against the Broncos in this game, it puts pressure on that Broncos team, and then things could start derailing for them. You guys may think it's a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take. I think the Broncos legitimately could win this game, and I think it's about a 50-50 split, maybe 55-45, with 55 being the Patriots, 45 being the Broncos on like the potential of winning this game. Now, I could be totally wrong, and next week making a video saying how wrong I was, but don't be surprised if the Broncos beat the Patriots on Sunday and punch their way to the Super Bowl. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments below. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It is totally free. We've been doing this channel for 4 months and are at 1,119 subscribers, so let's get one more subscriber at least to make the dinger move that 1.11 thousand subscribers to 1.12 thousand. As always, I'll see you very soon in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.